Now let's bring in Republican strategist Luke Ball. Luke, welcome.
Thank you.
So let's dig into some of the numbers in the Fox poll. Extremely or very concerned, El Sayed is too extreme, 54%. Rogers is too close to President Trump, 51%. What are your key takeaways from the Fox poll in Michigan?
Two things. One is that top number, 54% of the electorate think that El Sayed is too extreme. Before any attack ads have been run, before any of the GOP money has been dumped into the general race, the electorate believes his positions are too extreme. And I'll also point out that before any of the campaigning is happening, he is underperforming Kamala Harris in a state that Donald Trump won by about 2 points, a swing state among key demographics. And the second thing is what Kevin just pointed out, that in the gubernatorial race, the Dem nominee captures 81% of that crucial non-DSA Democrat and independent vote. El Sayed only captures about 69%. That will be the final determination in who captures this state, because the independents have all of the say. I've never really seen a state so split down the middle before, and now it's all up to the non-DSA Dems and the independents.
More from the Fox poll. Certain to support, 77% of El Sayed supporters, 76% of Rogers supporters. So in theory, at least 22% of those surveyed say they could flip. Your assessment?
They could flip possibly, but it's also important to recognize that 10% of the electorate who do not identify as DSA candidates would flip over to MAGA. And so there's some give and take there. There's like a 30% pro-DSA versus a 40% MAGA electorate that would be willing to cross over and vote for the other side. So there's a lot more sway among the independents that would go towards a Rogers candidate than there would towards an El Sayed candidate. If I'm in Rogers' position, I would do exactly what he did the other day when he released the video and said, if you as a Democrat are shocked at the direction that your party is going right now, there is a home for you with normal Americans and normal conservatives and Republicans and people who just want actual policies that work for everyday life. That's exactly what he did, and that's the winning message moving forward.
Okay, let's welcome in former GOP national spokeswoman Elizabeth Pipko. Elizabeth, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
What's your take on the key takeaways from that Michigan poll, critical state?
Well, look, I think that 27% is an incredibly high number, and I hope people realize what that means for the future of this DSA, right? This might work in very, very blue cities. It may work in New York, and it's certainly going to work in primaries, but it's not going to work in states like Michigan. It's not going to work nationally because the majority of our country has no interest in this nonsense. They want folks that are ready to stand up against those who hate our country. They want folks who believe in capitalism. They want folks who want to encourage our country, encourage our military, encourage people to have families, all these things that these progressive candidates want to stand against. And I hope people get a really harsh awakening in Michigan and all around our country in these midterms.
All right, I want to play a clip from Vice President J.D. Vance taking on socialism from the Will Cain show. Let's play it.
Our response to socialism, which is a dangerous and destructive ideology, it's been tried in the past and failed. Our response to that can't be just to ignore the economic concerns that I think are feeding this rising interest in socialism. My warning to my fellow Republicans, Will, would be if we don't get this right, don't blame young people for being sympathetic to socialism. We've got to blame ourselves.
How do Republicans defeat socialism, Elizabeth?
Look, I think when you have weak policies, you have to have good messengers, and that's what the DSA candidates have. They have incredibly strong actors, I'm going to call them, who tend to say the right thing to the American people, especially young people who don't have the time, who don't have the knowledge and the interest in history to figure out what actually works and what doesn't. So I think for us, it's about finding folks that want to be the right messengers. We struck gold. I'm sorry, the Republican Party really struck gold in 2016 with Donald Trump, who spoke to the American people in the way that they had been dreaming of for years. He revitalized a dying party. We all have someone to learn from. That's the way that the American people want to be spoken to. We should never talk down to Americans, never to young Americans. Just like JD said, they know what they're looking for. We just have to come at them with the right attitude.
Luke, I hear from young people all the time that they don't agree with them, but the socialists do a great job of messaging. How do you counter that?
The vice president said it today. It's all about the end game. Socialism has never worked anywhere. It has never outperformed the free market, and it never will. Just because you're hungry, it doesn't mean you want to take a candy bar and have that junk food. It'll give you a sugar high, but you're going to crash later. That's the end game messaging. And secondly, he mentioned young people, and that's where this ideology is really permeating right now. We, I think, have to identify the issues that young people are facing, like student loans, and find out why we are so so convinced that they have to enter the workforce tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt and then struggle with daily economic issues. So if we identify crucial things that they're dealing with as young people, and in my generation too, and get rid of those and find policy solutions that address them, the other stuff will take care of itself.
Luke Ball, Elizabeth Pipko, great to have you both. Thanks so much.